and Development Coordinator at Karuna. So I'll let her introduce herself later when she begins. I also wanted to welcome Olivia, who's here. I think Olivia will share a few words about how this is relevant to our our first webinar on social inclusion. But I also wanted to introduce Polly. So Olivia recently retired and she's transitioning to be more of a consultant on this project. She'll be very much involved still, so you'll still see Olivia. But I also wanted to welcome Polly, who is the new executive director at Karuna Center. So Polly and Olivia, I don't know if you would like to say a few words.
This is Polly. I'll just quickly say hi. It's lovely to meet you all virtually, and saying we've said hello by email to the Imam, but I'm really excited about this project, and I'm really interested to just join in and listen today. So I'm just going to hand it over, and hopefully Olivia will be able to say hello. She has, I think, her internet might be a little touchy, but hopefully she'll be able to say hello. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Polly.
So hello to everyone. It's really great to see you all. As Christina said, we've been thinking of you all as Ethiopia has been going through its share of troubles over the last couple of months, especially during the internet blockout, and we're just really glad to be able to connect with you this way. Of course, we wish it could be in person, and we look forward to the day when we can come to Addis again and meet with you directly. But in the meantime, we're very, very glad for this technology. Realize not all of you, or as many as not everyone's on the call who is part of the community resilience committees, and so we certainly hope you'll share what was spoken about with your colleagues, and I believe the Imam is also recording, so that's good. So as Christina mentioned, must have been a couple months ago now, we did have the webinar on social inclusion, and as you know, that's been a strong theme throughout our work together. We're thinking about it a lot in this country right now with the Black Lives Matter movement that's so important in this country. And I think every country where there are tensions and divisions, whether it's ethnic, religious, or political tensions, working on social inclusion is perhaps the most important thing in terms of building resilience to violence, because there are people who are so good at manipulating those divisions and motivating people towards violence. And if we can bring people together from all different groups in your resilience committees, or networking with them from your resilience committees, that will really help your cities prevent violence. And so as we think about social inclusion, those of you who were with us in the last webinar on that subject will remember we spoke about all different groups, thinking about all the different divisions. So making sure that you have as much of a gender balance as possible in your resilience committees, as much of a youth balance as possible. That all religious groups are well represented and in proportion to the numbers in your cities, that ethnic representation is really balanced, that there's political diversity, that so you really want to think through diversity of all different kinds. We focused on that in the last seminar, but we felt that given that now with the pandemic, people aren't meeting in person so much, meeting through webinars or social media is how people are communicating with each other. So therefore, the theme for this one is how to really think about social inclusion in the context of social media. So really excited that the Imam and Laura can do this presentation for you today, share a bit of their respective experiences on how to think when they're once crafting social media messages, how to think about social inclusion. So we hope it's useful, and your as always, you're the experts on Ethiopia, so I'm sure they're going to be relying on how this all applies to the situations in your cities. And I'm just really looking forward to hearing what's happening in your cities too. So I'm going to stay on for that part of the call through the reports, and then turn it over into Laura and the Imam's capable hands.
All right.
Thanks, Olivia. I think I'll let Imam and Laura, I think I'll let you two take it from here.
Thank you so much, Christine, and thank you, Polly, the new Executive Director for Karuna Center. Our good friend, and never forget Olivia. She will never be retiring from keeping. She is just a step one a bit, but she's still involved in Ethiopia. We have a tremendous memory with her. And then we have this morning preparation to outline our presentation, myself and my good friend Laura from Karuna Center. But before I proceed, as always, you know, this webinar and many other webinars and the meeting in person be recorded exclusively for educational and peaceful purpose, never, ever for commercial use. So we just want to be sure disclaimer statement for your record, so your consent be recorded and might be used for by Karuna Center or by AIC for educational and peaceful purpose through our social media of our platform. As I open our webinar this morning, Laura and myself, we had a prior discussion, the outline how we're going to present our presentation this morning. First, Laura, before Laura go, the way we do today is we'll give you ample opportunity from our respective three cities, from Dire-Dawa team led by our good friend, the city coordinator, Kader, who's doing fantastic job. Then we want to hear from Harar, led by another young, energetic peace coordinator, Dinir. And then we travel to Jijiga to our good friend Hussein, and I've seen Fozia is on board here. I would like to hear from you since we had this webinar in June, and we were trying to do this because of Hachalu's death and the violence took place. The internet shut down, so we were unable to proceed. So before myself, first, after your presentation this morning, Laura will go first, giving her presentation, and then we pause 2 minutes, transitioning, playing a little bit classical music for you, and then I come over and I'll address crisis management so that we know better how to really deal with this unexpected that interrupted our life and our way of life, peaceful life. All of a sudden, one incident taught us a lot. So even though initially he was planning to do the social media piece, which I have already done in Addis when we were together, but I modified a little bit to address the current challenges and the crisis, so we know as a peace keeping team or peace resilience committee, we have tools to deal with it. So let's hear from who go first. Dire-Dawa, Kadir, are you there? No doubt. Go ahead, Kadir.
Okay, my name is Kadir Ali, and I'm city coordinator for Dire-Dawa for newcomers. I mean, like the executive director and Laura. Welcome, and what I'm going to present for so far what we did in the past July. We focusing on mitigated plan, or alternative plan due to this COVID outbreak or pandemic, we plan, to conduct a TV show. As a plan, and in July, we conducted one TV talk show. Particularly on this TV show, the participant was youth participants, youth coordinator, religious leader was the main participant or the core committee representative. They was presented. The topic of the talk show was on the peace. What's the importance of the peace? Who is the responsible to keep the peace? And how the community build the resilience toward the violence, cohesion of the community, and how to, bring back Dire-Dawa to stability. This was the main topic, discussed on the TV talk show. The main objectives, to disseminate the message of the peace building resiliences toward the violences. Here, we used in 3 languages, when this message was disseminated in main 3 local language, Afan, Oromo, Amharic, and in Somali. This program was broadcasted or transmitted for Dire-Dawa people. The method we used in this TV show, we used 2 methods. The method was panel discussions and interviewed with these community leaders, religious leader, youth representatives. This was we conducted on July 27th, and the programs are on air or broadcasted on August 6th. The program was prepared and in Dire-Dawa TV station studio. We recorded the videos. The program was broadcasted on August 6th. The second main activity we achieved in this July month is related with the community-based organizations. On this, if I started with the names of the local NGO or community-based organizations, we said with the names Peace and Development Organization for Dire, in abbreviation PDOD. With the name we given. The status, now we are finalizing bylaw for the organizations, because frequently our peace building committee meeting was detailedly discussed and finalized the issues. We see the different aspect of this community organization. Frequently we were discussing on this point. That's why we reached on this status. Even I tried to reach the regional civil society organization yesterday, this morning. Unfortunately, the head was not in the office. I tried to get the paper from the organization, what are expected, what are to fill, and we get the format to fill. Inshallah, if Allah said in the next week, we finalized this the bylaw for the community-based organization. This is the status on the community-based organization. Almost we are on the way to finalized bylaw. And even we received the format supposed to fill by our reviewed and filled by our peace building committee member. Even next week we have the plan to meet together and see the bylaw signed, and they expected to fill the minute all the committee members supposed to be signed on it. Then after that we fill the format. We will finalize 100% by this week's and next week's. The third is related with the regular committee, our committee, peace building committee meeting. Regularly we meeting. For example, in July we didn't conduct it due to the instability of the country, due to the political assassination of the figurative or famous singers. We didn't conduct it in July, but for your information, we conducted. On August 2, we conducted. We in August 8, but not included for this reported. Then the topic of our committee discussed on August 8, August 2, was how to we finalized this bylaw for the community-based organization. How do we strengthen our committee member coordination, working together, and how to conduct it, the second round of TV shows and the things to be improved. This was among the main point we discussed on our regular review meeting with the committee members. The challenge we faced, during the activity achieved or activity accomplishment. The first one is, the current status of the country. The current status of the country as well as our city. The second challenge we faced are issues related with the budget. The budget for the talk show or for airtime are so expensive, but we allocated a few amount or a very, very small amount of budget for this TV show. This was the challenge we faced. The others are COVID. COVIDs are not only in Redwa. In the world level, the COVIDs are already headache or challenges.
I'm sorry. It's something very bad happened us.
Yeah, this is the main challenge we faced, during our programs or our activity accomplishment. This is the main point, and I want to forward or present it. If you have question or any suggestion, I will ready. That's it what I have, for these presentations. Thank you. If you have any question and a comment, I'm ready to accept.
Does anybody have a question for Kadir? First from Karuna Center team. Olivia, Christine.
I can see that Jed has a question. He raised his hand.
He is from the Dire-Dawa team, so if you want to add to it, Jed, Imam, do you have any addition or any question? Go ahead.
You just need to unmute.
Unmute yourself. Christine, help him unmute it.
He has to do it himself, unfortunately.
Okay. He's talking, but he cannot move. Unmute yourself, Jude.
There you go.
Until he's unmute, let's go to second person. Does anybody else have a question? Dinir, get ready, go.
Well, I just wanted to say it's really impressive, Kadir, how much you've achieved given the challenges that you listed. So it's both with the TV show and the progress with registering your CBC. So thank you for all that hard work and your team. Really impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I want to add congratulations, really, was my comment.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
I was giving first chance to the others. I will also add, really, you did an excellent job, Kadir, for the city of Dire-Dawa. As you know, the Dire-Dawa city is already a city of love. Yes, you need to cultivate it, and continue to do the TV show, since we have the Dire TV team on board. You don't have to pay for it. It's just very easy. I connected for you last time when I was there. So work on it. That's what it helps you to reach mass people, not only in the city of Dire-Dawa, in Ethiopia and in the world, because they have a website. They're going to upload it into their website. A lot of people tune in there, so they will be easy. Try to at least target minimally 3 shows, sometime with the youth, another time with only women, another time with only religious communities, another time with students, another time with government people. So play diversified. Don't bulk them all in one spot. Specialize one youth, one females, one elders, one ethnic elders of different group. Bring them on board and edit the discussion. And also, before you put it out on the air, screen it to make sure, any statement or any, volcanic thing will be thrown out there. So then you're going to be like a firefighter, try to extinguish that fire. Unexpected ethnic tension to build up. One word can make your enemy your friend. One word, your own son or your own family member, your own friend can make you an enemy. It's very important to watch what we say, how we say it. Thank you, Kadir. Let's go to Harar. Dinir, are you there?
Yes. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Dinir.
እሺ ተመልሼ እንደዚህ በመገናኘታችን እጅግ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። ያው በመጀመሪያ ጆን እና
Dinir, hold on.
Amen.
What I'm going to do is he's going to speak in Amharic. So as he speaks, I will summarize it and translate it in English. Go ahead.
እሺ ያው ተመልሼ በመገናኘታችን እጅግ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። በተለይ ጁን እና ጁላይ ላይ እንደ ሐረሪ ክልል ቲም ፒስ ቢልዲንግ በጣም ትኩረት አድርገን ስንሰራበት የነበሩ ሶስት ነጥቦች ላይ ነው። አንደኛው የሰላም ግንባታ ኮሚቴውን ማጠናከር የሚለውን ነገር ነው የመጀመሪያው ያዝነው። ሁለተኛው ደግሞ ይሄ ኮሚቴውን ህጋዊ አድርጎ በህጋዊ ሰውነት መንቀሳቀስ የሚለው ነው። ሶስተኛው በተለይ በሀገሪቱ ያለውን የሰላም ግንባታ ሁኔታ በአሁኑ ሰዓት ኮቪድ-19 ምክንያት ህብረተሰቡ በአንድ ቦታ ላይ መሰብሰብ ስለማይቻል ወደ ቲቪ ሾው ቀይረን በቲቪ ሾው ያለውን ስለ ሰላም ስለ አንድነት የሚል የማስተማር እቅድ ነው ያዝነው። በዚህ ዙሪያ ላይ በተለይ የመጀመሪያ እኛ ትኩረት አድርገን ስንሰራበት የነበረው የኮሚቴውን የማደራጀትና የማጠናከር ስራዎች ነበሩ። እሱም በተደጋጋሚ ተገናኝተን እንትን ማለት ሞክረን ነበር። በዚህ እንትን የሄድንበት የሰራንበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ። ኮሚቴው በተጠናከረ መልኩ አሁን የሚገናኝበት ሲስተም ተሰርቶ እየተካሄደበት ነው። غير اوفي
عن سمري صح حساو لحد يحب ذلك. Let me give you what Dinir said while he's controlling the volume, the background for a minute. He said in June and July they have been working very, very hard and outlining and working on three major areas. Number one, in peace building mission itself. Number two, this resilience committee to get a legal ground and status to be established there. Number three, dealing with the reality of COVID-19 and in general, the social political environment in the country. And then addressing this, he said, we've decided to work on the TV show for unity and building and peace resilience, and that's where he stopped. So we're going to continue. That's it.
Okay. ይቅርታ ያው ትንሽ ከኋላ የሰው ረብሾኝ ነበርና በተለይ ይሄ የህጋዊ ሰውነቱን በአሁኑ ሰዓት አደረጃጀታችንን ሙሉ በሙሉ ጨርሰን የቦርድ ሰብሳቢዎቹንም መርጠን አስፈላጊ የሆኑ ነገሮችን አጠናቀናል። ከዛ ውጪ መተሪያ ደንብ ማውጣተን ሙሉ በሙሉ ተጠናቆ ለሚመለከታቸው የፍትህ አካላት አስገብተን በዚህ ወር ውስጥ ኮሚቴው ህጋዊ ሰውነት ሙሉ በሙሉ አጠናቆ ወደ ስራ ይገባል የሚል እምነት አለን። ሙሉ በሙሉ በዚህ ወር እንጨርሳለን። ሌላኛው የቲቪ ሾው ነው። የቲቪ ሾው ፕሮግራማችን እኛ ትኩረት አድርገን እንትን ያልነው በተለይ በአሁኑ ሰዓት ሀገራችን ላይ ከሃጫሉ ሞት ግድያ ጋር ተያይዞ በርካታ ስጋቶች ነው ያሉት። ግርግሮች ተፈጥሯል። እስከ ህይወት እና ከፍተኛ ንብረቶች ወድመዋልና ይሄ ያስከተለው ተጽዕኖዎች አሉ። ይሄንንስ እንዴት ነው በተለይ ማርገብ የሚቻለው? ሰላምና አንድነታችንን ገንብተን ባለበት ሁኔታ እንዴት ነው ማርገብ የሚቻለው የሚለውን ነገር ዲስከስ አድርገን የሃይማኖት አባቶቹን ጋብዘናል። በተለይ ከእስልምናም አንድ ሰው፣ ከኦርቶዶክስ አንድ ሰው፣ ከሀገር ሽማግሌ ከሐረሪዎች አንድ ሰው፣ ከኦሮሞ አባገዳ አንድ ሰው፣ ከአማራም ደግሞ እንደ ሀገር ሽማግሌና እድርና አፎቻ ተጣሪ አንድ ሰው አድርገን በሰላም ግንባታ ዙሪያ ላይ ሰፊ ውይይት ነው በቲቪ ሾው የተካሄደው ማለት ነው። በተለይ ፎከስ ያደረገው የእስልምና አስተምሮት የክርስትና አስተምሮት ምንድነው ስለ ሰላም ግንባታ የሚያወራው? በቁርአን ምንድነው የሚለው? በመጽሐፍ ቅዱስ ምንድነው የሚለው? በተለይ በባህሎች አስተምሮትም የአባገዳዎች ባህል ስለ ሰላም ምንድነው የሚያስተምረው የሚለው ሰፊ ውይይት ነው የተደረገበት ማለት ነው ለሀገር ሰላም ግንባታ ቅድሚያ መስጠት ያለባቸው ደግሞ የሃይማኖት አባቶችና የሀገር ሽማግሌዎች መሆኑ ኢቭን ቶክ ሾው ትምርታዊ ብቻ ሳይሆን ኃላፊነት ወስዶ የሚሄዱበት ሁኔታዎችም ጭምር ያደረግንበት ሁኔታዎች ነበሩ የቶክ ሾው ፕሮግራሙ በተለይ በቲቪ ላይም በሐረሪ ቲቪ ከ3 ጊዜ ነው ስርጭት ላይ ያዋለው 3 ጊዜ ማለት ነው በተለያዩ ቀናቶች 3 ቀን ስርጭት የአየር ጊዜ ያገኘበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ እንደ መንግስት ኮሙኒኬሽንም ፔጃቸው ላይም ቪዲዮ ዩቲዩብ እና ፌስቡክ ፔጃቸው ላይም የተጫነበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ ከዚህ ውጪ የፒስ ቢልዲንግ ሐረር ፒስ ቢልዲንግ ፔጅ ላይም እንደዛው ሊንክ የተደረገበትና ለህብረተሰቡ ተደራሽ የሆነበት ሁኔታዎች ነው ያሉት በጣም ጥሩ ውይይት በጣም የተሳካ ውይይት ነበር ማለት እንችላለን ማለት ነው ይሄኛውን በዛ አይነት ነው ያየነው እንደ ቻሌንጅ የገጠመን በተለይ በተፈለገው ያህል እንዳንሄድ ያደረገን ይሄ ህጋዊ ፍቃዱ በጊዜ ያለ ማለት ይሄ ህጋዊ ፍቃዱ በጊዜ ያለ ማለቁ ችግር በተወሰነ መልኩ በፈለግነው ያህል ርቀት እንዳንሄድ ያደረገበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ ያንንም አሁን ቀጣይ ላይ የምንሄድበት ይሆናል ሌላኛው እንደ ቻሌንጅ አንድ የገጠመን ምንድነው የቲቪ ሾው ፕሮግራም ሲዘጋጅ አየር ላይ የቲቪ ፕሮግራም ሲዘጋጅ የአየር ሰዓት አለ የአየር ሰዓት በጣም ውድ ነው የአየር ሰዓት በደቂቃ የሚከፈለው ያው ሁላችንም እናውቃለንና የቲቪ ፕሮግራም በጣም ውድ ከመሆኑ መጠን ያው እኛ ይበጃል ባለው ሲስተም ነው በጣም ወጪም ቀንሰን ይበጃል ባለው ሲስተም ነው ሄደን እንትን ያደረግነው የቲቪ ሾው ፕሮግራሙን ያደረግነውና በዚህ አንግል ጥሩ ሁኔታዎች አሁን በጣም ጥሩ የተንቀሳቀስንበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ በተለይም አሁን ቀጣይ ላይ እንሰራዋለን ብለንም የተመካከርንባቸውና ዲስከስ ያደረግንበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ ባለፈው ሳምንት አንደኛው ምንድነው የወጣቶች መድረክ የቲቪ ሾው ፕሮግራም እናደርጋለን የወጣቶችና የሴቶች ራሱን የቻለ ወጣቶች ፍሪ ሆኖ በነፃነት ስለ ሰላም የሚያወሩበት መድረክ ሊኖር ይገባል ሴቶችም በዛ ደረጃ ስለ ሰላም የሚያወሩበት መድረክ ይገባል የሚለው ምክንያቱም ለዚህ ጉዳይ ተጋላጭ ሆኑት ለረብሻና ለሁከት ለግርግር ተጋላጭ ሆኑት ወጣቶች ናቸው ይሄ ወጣት ከመሆኑ መጠን ወጣቱ የራሱ የሆነ በነፃነት የሚያወራበት መድረክ ይፈልጋልና አንድ በሱ የያዝንበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ ሌላኛው ስለ ሰላም ስናወራ ሁሉ ጊዜ ስለ ህግ የበላይነት ጋር ካልተሳሰረ ሰላም ሊሰፍን አይችልም በምንም ታም የህግ የበላይነት ካልተጠበቀ ህብረተሰቡ ብቻ ሰላም ማምጣት አይቻልም ለዛ ትልቁ ነገር ምንድነው ሰላም ለማምጣት የህግ የበላይነት ህጎች መከበር መቻል አለባቸው ህግ ካልተከበረ ሰላም ስለማይመጣ ማለት ነው ለዚህ የህግ ባለሙያዎች ራሱን የቻለ ስለ ሰላም ራሱን የቻለ እንትን ማድረግ መቻል አለብን የሚለውንም ነገር በተወሰነ መልኩ ያስፈልጋል ምክንያቱም ህግ ካልተከበረ ስለ ሰላም እናወራበት መድረክም ላይ ነው በህብረተሰቡ ዘንድም ተቀባይነት ስለማይኖረን የህግ ባለሙያዎች መድረክም ራሱን የቻለ እናደርጋለን የሚለውንም ነው እንደዛው የሲቪክ ማህበራትም ራሱን የቻለ መድረክም የምናዘጋጅበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ በአሁኑ ሰዓት በተለይ ያው እንደሚታወቀው የኮቪድ-19 ስጋት ቢኖርም ግን ከኮቪድ-19 ጎን ለጎን እኛ በሀገራችን ደረጃ ላይ ከፍተኛ የሰላም ስጋት አለ የጸጥታ ስጋት አለ ለዛ ጎን ለጎን የኮቪድ-19ን እየተከላከለ ያንን ደንብና መመሪያዎችን እየጠበቀን ይሄ የሰላምና የሰላም መድረኮቹ መቀጠል ያስፈልጋል ብለን እኛም የተወያየንበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ እስካሁን በነበረን ሁኔታዎች በጣም ጥሩ እንቅስቃሴ ነው ያደረግነው ሙሉ በሙሉ በጁንና ጁላይ የታቀደው ሙሉ በሙሉ የተከናወነበት ሁኔታዎች አሉ ማለት ነው አመሰግናለሁ ተጨማሪ ካለ ያው ኮሚቴም ተጨማሪውን ሐሳብ ይሰጣል ማለት ነው
well he addressed Janir a lot of good work. Thank you so much, Janir, for your leadership with your team in Harar. He said first, they formed the community resilience in Harar peace building, the board, they rectified their bylaws. This month is going to be officially recognized by the government. They submitted their paperwork. He said it's going to be recognized this month. Then, since Hachalu's death, a lot happened. As a result, they gathered the religious father, asking them specifically what Quran says vis-a-vis violence, and then from the Christian Orthodox perspective, and then from the community tradition, Bagada, from the Oromos perspective vis-a-vis peace. And they had in-depth discussion. And then they took that to the talk show. The talk show was aired 3 times in Harar TV and was placed in the communication department of the government in their
Tasneem.
website.
Tasneem.
The website. So the Harar is building team, among the challenges they face were the COVID-19 is one of the challenge. And then they also, another challenge is that airtime to pay for isn't very expensive. But for now, they manage it through, Janir is also working in the Harari communication department. He is an asset for that department. It is very easy passage to really organize his message to pass, because he worked there as well for Harari TV and the media, mass media. He's working there. And then as for the challenge, also the vast majority of the victims are the youth itself. So he said, we're planning to organize the youth, the female youth, the male youth, so that they will not be victims of this violence and counter-violence. And also, toward the end, he concluded by saying that to bring peace or keep peace, the key element that are needed also is the enforcement of the rule of law. We can sing, we can, wanted all kind of pieces as we want. You cannot keep those pieces unless there is law and order, and also enforce it. So this is another thing is what Janir was reporting to us. We thank him so much. If anything I missed, Janir, let me know. If anybody has a question for Janir, is that Janir, if anybody has any question for Harar, it's the time to ask. Olivia, any comment, any question?
Well, sure. Just again, congratulations on all the hard work. It sounds terrific, both with getting the CBC registered and the TV show. One point I would just add is the final one on rule of law and how important that is. And I know in each of your cities, sometimes there is not a good feeling about how the security forces act, whether it's the military or the police. They're essential, but they can also be part of the problem. So I think it's also a very important role for the CBCs to be connecting with the different security forces and helping to be an advocacy voice that they're maintaining rule of law in a proper way and not discriminating against one group or another. So I think I just wanted to highlight that point.
Thank you. Anybody else? Laura, any comment? Any question?
Just again, congratulations, and thank you for sharing so much. And I'm sorry that I cannot understand it in the original Amharic. That's my fault.
Now, Muhammad from Dire-Dawa, Joe, earlier we sort of skipped you because until you get your mic released. Do you have any question or comment, either for Dire-Dawa or for Harar? The floor is yours, Muhammad.
Okay. First of all, first and foremost, I'd like to say Assalamu alaikum later.
Salam.
I don't like to say anything more except congratulating them, both of them, the Dire-Dawa group and Harari group, because Harari has done a lot of good things which is very crucial for the establishment of peace and tranquility for the whole country. I hope that his words or their action will be promulgated in the whole country and things will get better. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Jude. Now we will go in the interest of time to, if anybody doesn't have a question, we'll go now to Jijiga team. Hussein or Fozia, if you're there, please give us your report about your respective beautiful city of Jijiga and Somali region in Ethiopia.
Sheikh Wazir, I'm here. Thank you, everyone. How are you, everyone? How are you doing?
Very good.
On July report, we did the board, the CPO board. We make the list for the borders of the CPO. We also did the bylaw. Still, we didn't edit. After we edit, we're gonna submit to Yilma, and we're gonna continue with the registration and everything. And also we did the panel discussion on the TV show, which was really very excellent. We invited Minister of Sport and the Deputy of Security, Somali region. We invited from law also one person. We invited Human Affairs Office one person. We did the panel discussion about the youth problem in Jijiga, what they are facing and how is it going on, and how can it be the solution, and what do the youths need in Somali region. So we did a lot of discussions about that. We talk about the COVID cases that schools are being closed, and there is a lot of problem facing by the youth is fighting each other in the cities and also interfering with the political groups. So we talk about how can we make the youngsters very busy in their education and how they can be helpful to their country and beautiful to their school and what do you call and to the education. It was kind of a 1 hour program. It was really very nice. We submitted by Somali language. It was really the president Mustafa also like our panel discussion. He really appreciated. It was really repeated by the Somali TV. I can say more than 20 times. Still, it's continue. It's been seen by on the TV about the panel discussion. Also, the security office also is asking us to work with them. So after we register after we register, we're gonna work with them officially. That's all we done in July. if anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fawzia. Appreciate it for in-depth report. Anybody have a question or comment for Fawzia? Always we start with our team, peace building team here in the state, Olivia, Christine, or Laura, or Polly for that matter. And then I have also a question or comment. Olivia, any question, comment for Jijiga?
Sure. Once again, well done. I mean, it sounds terrific. And what struck me, Fawzia, is just that you created content that the TV program company really wanted to share, as well as the president of the region. So you've done it in such a way that it's taking on a life of its own, that there's real interest in the fact that the security structures also want to work with you, really suggests to me that you're doing great work, that you're striking a good note that is bringing other people towards you and really looking for your help. And I think the fact that you'll be registered as a community-based organization is really going to allow you to do much more. So this is terrific.
Laura?
No, thank you. Yeah, I saw part of the TV show because Yilma shared it with us. So, and even though I couldn't understand what exactly people were saying, I could tell that it was a very useful conversation and that people were very thoughtful. And I thought it was great the way it was able to be shared, not just when they broadcast it, but also shared over Facebook so that it can reach a broader broader amount of people. Through smaller clips. So I also wanted to say congratulations. And I saw you on TV and now it's nice to meet you here.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else have a question, comment for Fawzia and Jijiga team?
I wanted to ask.
Go ahead, Christine, go ahead.
Fawzia or any of the other coordinators, if you had any idea, like who within the general public watches these shows? How many people tune in or who tunes in? Is it mostly adults? Do you think you're also reaching youth? Is it mostly people in the government?
People from the government are reaching us, and also a lot of public citizens are also reaching us, also saying like they want to join us and work with us about as a team. They told everybody is appreciating about the idea, that the topic we took about the youth, which is very fruitful. You know that in Ethiopia there is a lot of violence is happening right now, but thanks to Allah, in Somali region we are very secure. There's nothing. So the president is also call me and he said thank you for working on this, because we need to teach our youngers and tell them that violence is very bad, and this is all we need to always work on the security, and security is the first important thing in everything. If we have security, we get everything. So working on the peace, really appreciate that, and we really and he also tell the TV show to make us for free for the next time we coming. So we're gonna go online for free, no money, which is very nice opportunity for us. And the security, the deputy security also tell us if we need any help from him, any kind of support from him, he's ready with us to work with us, which is very nice. So after we register everything, we're gonna do it, inshallah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. In the interest of time, we'll say, if anybody doesn't have any question for either cities, I am so impressed, Fawzia, for your leadership along with your team. You're doing a very, very important work.
Thank you.
It's a very rewarding work. Keep up the work. Now, one thing that I'm missing is this. From the 3 cities, a coordination of joint work Now it's good that each one of you mastered it very well in Dire-Dawa, in Harar, in Jijiga. The whole eastern region is connected like one body. I want to see also some coordinated work. The Jijiga team, I know COVID-19 is there, but find ways virtually to connect some joint work, joint appearance. Harar TV invite the Dire-Dawa TV and the Dire-Dawa Peace Building team come over there, and then TV inviting the Harari there on board, and then the Jijiga team, the same thing. That shows bound together as one region and one people, so that send a message to the rest of the country. I think it would be a very good idea if you do that. We would like to see those things. Second, also, I want you to see activate a little bit more on the WhatsApp group that we have. So that is also the platform that shows universally in every city what you do there. If you would post your video clips, pictures, if you report the activities, that would also be helpful, so we can pick it up, disseminate it in AIC network and Karuna network everywhere. And with that being said, I know we're going to come back to Ilma toward the end. I will now give you just 1 or 2 minute transitional classical music break, and then we go to Laura to do the presentation that she prepared for us. So during this 1 minute or 2 minutes transition, you are free to stand up, stretch your body, grab your coffee, whatever you have to do, and then we will come back right immediately after this transition of classical music. Laura, get ready.